In this video lesson, we'll learn how to use Google Maps as essentially a collection medium for images and videos that you have already created in Picasa web albums and YouTube. This allows you to include the spatial dimension of social media and the sharing of social media into your web presence. So let's get started with Google Maps, and that URL is maps.google.com. You can sign into Google Maps with your same Google ID that you created earlier. I have set up Regensburg, Germany as the default starting location for my Google Maps. The reason for that is that's what I'm going to use as the organizational scenario for this exercise as our semester in the Regensburg program, partnership between Murray State and the University of Regensburg. And I'm going to show some images and video from that program or from Regensburg, and then create a short route among those various sites which I add to the map. So to get going, what I'm going to do is click My Maps. You'll see that I have several others already loaded, but I'm going to create a new map. And it gives me the title information over here, and I'm going to call it the Semester in Regensburg Tour, and have a description of information on Murray State's exchange program in Regensburg, Germany. Okay, that gets my description information taken care of. Now you see that I have some tools in which I can move the map around. I can place marks on the map, and I can also do routes. I can also toggle between various views of the map between map and satellite. So let's zoom in a little bit further to Regensburg. You get some sense of the way the city is laid out. Here's the old city in the middle, the university to the south of the screen, and Stadenhof and other cities to the north along this part of the Danube River. I have two pictures and a video that I want to place here, and the pictures are from my Picasa web album. So let's zoom in just a little bit more, and I'm going to indicate in both cases the place where the picture was taken. So let's move back to Picasa web albums, and I want to start with this picture from across the Danube. You can see where it's taken on the map here because this one has already been geotagged. This picture across the Danube looking at the famous dome of the city of Regensburg, dome or cathedral. Let's take the information from the link. I don't want to have a link to the album. I want only the image and no other information. I want the size of it to be small rather than thumbnail. I now have the code I need to move over into the map, so I copy that with Control C. I move back to Google Maps. I locate the position from which that picture was taken, and it's right here by the end of this bridge. So I grab that icon and move it down to place a place mark right exactly where that is done. Because this is a view of a building, this is the icon we'll use to indicate that. And we'll call it the Regensburg Dome. And what we're going to say is a view from across the Danube. And then I click the picture icon or insert image, allow pop-ups in my browser, and then I paste the embedded code here. So now inside the caption, above the caption inside the box, I have the picture that I've pulled over from Picasa, so we can see what that image is like. If I hit OK, that remains on the map, and notice that if I click on it, I see that image once again. Okay, so the second image that I want to place is actually in the dome, where we have a student tour where students were able to see the dome itself. So let's move in just a little bit more, and you can see that right here you can see a picture from above of the two spires of the dome, and our students were actually in that spire. So let's find a picture in which that was the case, and that's this one here, where the picture is taken from the sides of one of the two spires about 2/3 of the way up. That's the photo we want to link. and place on the map. Let's recreate the settings from our first picture, small, with the album link and the image only there. Then let's take that code, copy it back to the maps. We set our place mark right on top of the spire. We're no longer interested in the building. This is more like the view. So let's use this sign to indicate that this is a picture from a very photogenic part of the city. Once again, we'll click the picture icon, embed our text, and now the picture is there ready to go. And we'll call it MU Students on the Dome. And now we're ready. We're now ready to place a video into the system, and we're going to do it by moving to another part of town just a little bit to the west here in Hyde Platz. Hyde Platz is the scene of a famous summer festival, summer music festival, and we have some video of that in YouTube, and I'm going to find it by searching for Regensburg and summer. And so now I have this video. We'll move to it, and I'll pause it so we don't have to listen to it. And I want to embed that video inside one of the place markers. We want to see the border. We don't want to include related videos, but we want as small a version as we can get. So we'll use 340 by 285. Here's the code we're now using for that. Back to the maps. Let's put another place mark in the middle of Hyde Platz. This one, not so much a picture as it is a performance venue, so we'll use that icon, and we'll call this the Regensburg Summerfest. This one works a little bit differently. We don't use the image icon. We use instead edit HTML, in which we're able to put HTML code directly into the place marker box. Paste that, hit OK, and look at it in real text. And there is our YouTube video, all ready for users to view. So now we've placed graphic and video imagery on the map. The last thing we'll do is place a line on the map that indicates the route we would walk to get between those three spots. So we have our original view here. We have the picture of Murray State students at the top of the dome at the bottom here. And then we have the festival in Hyde Platz in the middle of town. So let's click the route button, then draw a line. We start by clicking at the point where we want to begin, following the street, clicking at major turns. We're going over the bridge at this point, down to a side street, and now this is the point where we would have the view of the dome. We now move through another series of streets, to Hyde Platz, and when we get there, we double click to complete the route. We'll call that Regensburg Tour. And now we're set. So we're now finished with the Regensburg map. We click Done. And now we're ready to go. So this map is now ready for us to take a look at. If we want to send it to someone else, which is what you'll do with me, you'll go to the link. You'll paste this link at the top. Inside an email message, send that to me so I can view the map, and we're now set and ready to go. And you have created a map in Google Maps which integrates images and video from Picasa and YouTube into a multimedia shared experience in the context of a map of Regensburg, Germany. And you will do the same thing with similar sorts of content for related to your organizational scenario for your initial web presence in this project. So that ends this video lesson.